Hello, good morning, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me. Please put in the comment. That's great. You can hear me. Uh, Gyan, can you test your voice?
Hello everyone, can you guys hear me?
Great, they can hear us.
Okay, cool.
So we
Thank you
will,
guys.
yeah. So can you put on mute?
Yes, sure.
So we will be waiting for few more minutes for others to join, and then we will get started. So let's wait for 2 more minutes, and then we will get started. If you have any questions meanwhile, you can post on chat. So we will be answering you meanwhile. So I see many new people joining in. Thank you so much. Welcome to the session. So let's get started. So here we are, free live sessions, Salesforce training for beginners. I hope you are enjoying so far and learning. So today we will be discussing about flows. So this topic is not very strong of many Salesforce admins and devs. So today we will explain you flows in detail. So you are completely clear with the concept. And you need to remember that flow does not need any code. So it will be set and configured using clicks. So we can get started on this. So basically flow is a big topic and I will try to cover as much as I can. If you guys want more into details about anything, so just do it in the feedback or in the survey and I will do another video on that in case you need more details. So a little bit about me. So if you are regularly attending these sessions, I hope you know me by now. So SFDC Amplified blog and YouTube channel is owned by me. I am Smriti Sharan and I am Salesforce consultant at Deloitte. I have done MBA and MS and I love blogging and YouTubing. And today I will be your instructor teaching you flows. Please Glenn, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, hello guys. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening, as per your regions. So, myself, Ganeshwar Malba, and I'm working as a Salesforce admin and developer. Thank you. That's all.
So thank you so much Gyan for introducing yourself. So guys, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to stay updated. I will keep bringing more series like this. So let's go ahead and make the learning special. So regarding the trailhead modules, I don't need to give enough importance to how much you need to do trailheads. So these are trailhead related to flows. So please go ahead and strengthen your concepts. So topics for today, let's discuss that. So introduction to automation, difference between automation tools, automation in Salesforce, different flow terms. Then we will be discussing the type of flows and then contest alert. So today we will be announcing winner of contest about rupees 500 contest. Let's see who wins. And we have lot of quizzes in between and winners, like 5 winners from the entire series will get gift hampers. So stay till the end and then we will be having Q&A series. But meanwhile, you can put your questions, any kind of questions in the chat and we will be there to help you out. So let's discuss about the introduction to automation. So nowadays automation is everywhere. We can't imagine our everyday life without automation in any aspect. So let's take example of automation. So here I'm taking example of Amazon. So here I'm opening the order details of Amazon. So what exactly happens? So for example, there's a customer and he wants to order heater. So now he wants the process to be very quick and seamless. And he wants everything to be there on one screen. So what he wants to do? He wants to see the heater, rating and everything. Then he wants to add it to the cart. After that, he wants to track the package, see all the shipping information, date of delivery, all the information related to that product at one go. And that's how automation will help him because once he makes the order, then he can see the other processes. So in automation, there is no manual intervention. Once you order, then all downstream action takes place. So as you order, then immediately you can click on track package and you can see where is your package. There's no manual intervention involved in between. This makes the process very quick and this helps in retaining the current and then the existing customers. So basically it enhances the user experience. So that's where the automation is so important. So let's go ahead and see the different automation tools. So there is workflow, process builder, and flows in Salesforce. So it's very important for interview point of view. So there are three different actions for the workflow, process builder, and flow. So please go ahead and read them very carefully. And today our focus will be on flows. In earlier session, the last one, we focused on workflow and process builder. So I hope you saw that session. Otherwise, you can see that in the YouTube now. So let's discuss some of the flow terms because there are many terms around it and it might be confusing to understand. So let's go ahead. So lightning flow. So it is the product that helps in building, managing and running flows and processes. That simple it is. Flow Builder is a point and click tool for building flows. Flow is an application that automates a business process by collecting the data and doing something in the Salesforce org or even an external system. Then comes the Cloud Flow Designer. It has been replaced by Flow Builder, so you don't have to worry about it. And then comes the Visual Workflow. So it is a retired feature and not used anymore. So don't worry if you are still not clear with these terms. We'll be going step by step to explain them more clearly. So let's discuss type of flows. So here we actually start. So there is screen flow, auto launch flow, user provisioning flow, and then contact request flow. So let's see how it works. So today our focus is basically on the screen flows and auto launch flow. And the other flows we will be not discussing in this session that much detail, but we can create another video for that. So let's see how it looks. So I will be going to the setup. I will be putting the flow here in the quick find. So we see the process automation and here we have flows. So now we have to click on new flow to create one. So right now you see we are on the flow builder. So we just discussed what is flow builder. It's a point and click tool for building flows. So you see where we can build the flows. Here it is. Now we just discussed that there are four types of flows. So we can see screen flows, auto launch flow, and then when I click on show more, I can see user provisioning flow and then contact request flow. So now let's talk about screen flow. Screen flow and auto launch flow, this is where we will be discussing. So we will be going and discussing in some time. Right now we will be discussing about user provisioning flow. So basically it is used to simplify the account creation and links your Salesforce user accounts to the third party accounts through any kind of connected app. So that's where user provisioning flow works. And then there is contact request flow. So we can add contact request button and flow components to let members click the button to the request, the customer support, and get back to them. So we will be just focusing on these flows right now. So let's go ahead. So let's discuss about the screen flow. In this one, user interaction is needed. So you see this form, right? SFDC amplified session feedback form. So this kind of form we can have using the screen flow, where user enters all the details on the screen. So this is done using the screen flow. That simple it is. And you cannot create a form using any other automation tool other than flow. So that is special part. And we will be creating couple of them using the scenarios which we are going to do that. But right now we will go ahead. So let's talk about the flow builder user interface. So right now, I will just click on screen flow to show you. So you see this interface, right? Let's spend some time to discuss about it. So this is toolbox. You see here we have element. In the element, we have interaction, logic, and data. So basically, the element tab, we can add new elements like screen we can add creation of records. So these are the elements which we can add. We will be showing them in the scenarios we use. And then we have the manager tab. This one we use to create variables and other resources in the flow. Then we have canvas. So why we use canvas? Basically, we use canvas. It's a working area where we can build a flow by adding any element we want to. So if we want to drag something, we just simply click here and we are able to drag it. That's how easy it is. And then you see a visual diagram of your flow. And then comes the button bar. So you see the buttons, right now they are not activated, but for instance if I have that screen, which I will show you in some time, they will get activated. So we see run. So run is the most recent saved version of the flow, and then you can run it. Then there is debug is used to display the debug details. We will be discussing in more details in the upcoming in the session. Then we can activate it, and then we can even save. So that's how our flow works. So this is our flow builder user interface. So I hope that now it is clear that how exactly it works. Okay, so let's go further. So now let's talk about elements in detail. So you just saw, right, that what are elements? So there is interaction, logic, and then data. That's what we discussed. So we will be going and talking about them in little detail. So interaction. So interaction is this screen element. So let's go there. We are talking about this in an interaction. This is the screen. So in the screen, what happens? You can drag the components. So for example, you want the text. So you just simply drag here and then you put all the label, then the API name, and then you click on done. And that's how you are able to create the screen. Basically, it is used, for example, for the form, we can have the display text. For that, it can be used. That's what is screen used for. Now we are talking about the flow actions. So what is flow action? So this is your action. Again, I'm dragging it. So let's see. So let's understand it with a helper example. Suppose you build a flow that creates a task before displaying a screen to the user. So now what will happen? Now if you put the flow on the account page, that flow would create a task every time a user load the page. And that could result in a lot of unnecessary tasks. So that's what we don't want, right? That the task is created on the page load. We want that it should not get created, but it should create on some kind of action. And that's where we use the action. So let's see. So for example, we want task and we want it to get invoked through this action. So we will be going and for example, we want some kind of task like new task. So let's see how it will get invoked. So let me go back. So in our mobile and lightning action, we will be having flow action. We simply need to drag it in the page layout, and then what will happen? We will be seeing something like flow action. And then when you click on it, so for example, on the click of it, you want new task. So on the click of it, you will be invoking new task. Otherwise, what can happen is if you have a build a flow that creates a task without displaying the screen, so it will be doing every time the page is loaded. And if you don't want that, you can do it on the click of the action. Now let's talk about subflow. So where that exists. So we go here and we see subflow. In the subflow, it's nothing but we can see many more flows if we have. So we can take example here. For example, we create a task. So when we create a task, we might need to create a task for multiple objects like contacts, opportunities, cases. And because we want it for multiple objects, then what happens is we create it once, like create a flow of creating a task once, and then we can add it every time. For example, when we are creating a contact, that time we can add. When we are creating opportunity, time we can add. So one flow can be used in multiple flows. That's how we use it. So in the subflow, we add it and we use it. So now we are a little bit more clear about the interaction. So now let's talk about the logic. So if you see here, we just covered interactions in little depth. Now it's about the assignment. So again, we simply drag it. So basically what happens here is you can set values using assignment. So for example, when you want to create multiple products, you set value for each product using the assignment. That's how you will be using it. I think decision we all have taken somewhere. For example, yes no situation. If we are going with if we are going with yes or no. For example, when we want to create contact, if the contact gets created, then show the success message to the user. If it doesn't get created, then show the error message. So that's how we are making decision, right? So for that we use it. And then comes the loop. So now what loop does, I think you would be little clear about it. Let's see. So this is how it looks. In loop what happens is it processes through the collection of records. So for example, you query through the list of contacts, but now you want to display contact that is related to the current opportunity. So as you want to display that, you can loop over it, and that's how you are able to see it. So that's how the loop works. Now comes the data. So that is the third part. So we have covered interaction, logic in little depth, and now comes the data. So what data does? So for example, you want to create record. The creation of record, for example, creation of new contact. That's how the create record works. So simply you click here and you can fill in the label API name and you can choose how many records you want to create. And that's how you will be able to create a contact in the flow. As simple as that. Then in the update record, what happens? It updates the existing record. So for example, you want to change the contact information which is already present in the system. So for that, you will update the record. Then comes the get record. So for example, we query records using any field as filter. For example, you want to get list of accounts based on checkbox or ID that was passed from the process builder. So if we want to get records on some kind of filter, that's how we use the get records. And now we have the delete records. So I think by the name we are clear. Delete records is for the deletion of records. So for the records which are already present. So this is how our elements work. Then we have the manager. Manager is basically here to create new resource. We will just create a resource in some time, but here we can choose the resource type and we can go ahead by creating a variable and then we can choose the data type. So we will just create this new resource, but whatever we create, it will be showing here. So that's how the resource works. So that is the overall big picture. And if I go back, I have not created anything, right? If I create, then I will see all the details here, which I will do in just some time. Now you have the chance to win some goodies. So I'm just going to show you the questions So I hope you are ready. So are you ready? Put in the chat you're ready to play the quiz, and we have back to back 3 quiz coming up. So let's see who wins. And I don't need to mention that 5 winners from the entire series giving maximum right answers will be winning. So let's get started. And I want lot of answers in next 30-40 seconds in the timer. So let's go. Which element type we use to collect information from user? 10 seconds remaining. Okay, so the correct answer is screen. So like I told you that we can create a form where we can have the screen in which we can have the form where we can drag and have first name, last name. So where there we use the screen. So it's a screen type. So the next question is coming up. Be ready. Which element type is used to check if a matching record was found? 9 seconds remaining. Okay, guys, timer. So the answer is logic. Why? Which element type is used to check if a matching record is found? So if you want to check something, we will be applying the logic one. It's logic. So don't worry. One more question is coming up. I hope you make this right. So let's go. Which element type is used to find a matching contact record? So that is action. So basically we have to find a matching contact record. In that case, we will be using the action. So we will be announcing the winners in some time for the first 3 questions, but you did pretty well. Good job, guys. So now we will be discussing about the flow cases. So we are actually now getting deeper and deeper. So let's see. So now what we want to do is we want to display a text. That is our case one. So if you see here, here we put hello everyone, welcome to SFDC Amplified in the screen, and this is the output. So now let's see how it comes. Okay, so I will just go there quickly. So I will create new flow. So I think you already know that we will be using the screen flow is if user interaction is needed. So we want to display something. So for that, we will be using this. So I will be clicking on create. Now, like I said, that we need screen if we want to show some information. So now we want to display text. So we'll be simply adding the display text. Now let's talk about flow label. It's a header. So, okay, I don't want a header. I will simply remove it. Regarding navigation, like going to the previous screen, finish screen, no, I don't want it. I just simply want to do it. So it depends on what you want. So I will go to display text. I will simply say welcome message, and we cannot have space. Let's see if we have space what happens. So I'm leaving it like this. this value can only contain underscores. So just let's remove it. Okay, or we could have put underscore in between, that would have also worked. So let's put it like this, and now I will be displaying the text. Hello, welcome to SFDC Amplified. So we can also change the color, the text size. So let's do that. Let's make it a little bold, and let's change it to a little bluish. Okay, so I think that looks good. So we are all set. We have put the information, we are good with colors, all the things, set visibility, everything is fine. And I want it always visible, and I click on done. See what is the error. So I have to just put the label name. So now I have created it. Now once it is created, I have to link it. So for that, I will, yeah, so I'll simply link it like this. So now once I have done, let's quickly check if all the information is right. It looks hello, welcome to SFDC Amplified Sessions. We click on done, and then we click on save. So this is the first flow, guys, we are creating. So let's get started. Okay, so our first flow, and welcome message in the description, and then we will be just simply saving it. So this is some warning they are giving up. We don't need to worry, but what they are saying is that welcome screen is missing navigation. So you saw, right? There was something called previous, next. So we don't want it right now. We just want to display the message. But they are just giving us warning, which is good, that you are missing it. So I don't want it. So I will just simply ignore, and I'll run it here firstly to see how it works. So I click on run. And see, we see a beautiful message. Hello, welcome to SFDC Amplified Sessions. That looks nice. Now, let's do something more to it. So, this time, I will be going here, and I want to display the logged in user information. So, how we will do that? I will click here, and here, hello, welcome to. So, let's put username here. So, I will insert a resource. I will click on new resource. I'll select, it will be a formula, and I will be saying current user info. Data type will be of text type, and then I want to insert a resource. So, so whatever are global resources that is system generated, they come with $sign. So I'll just simply click here, and once we have this, we will be having user and first name. For example, I want to print, so it will be coming here. If you want something else also, you can simply go here, and you can go on user, and then you have this. You can choose whatever information you want, and that will be there. So right now we just want that. We click on done, and we see hello, and then hello Smriti, welcome to SFDC Amplified should come. Let's see, let's click on done. Let's click on save. We are ignoring the warning right now. So we have already saved. Now we need to activate it. So I will activate it. Now it's activated. Let's see if it's working. So see, a beautiful message comes. That's cool, okay, I can see it here. But how about showing it in the page, in the account or home page? That would be more exciting, right? So let's go there. So this is my home screen. So we have already discussed in the earlier session, but so that you are remembering how it works, we'll be going to the edit page. And after going here, what you will do, you have the standard components and flow is standard component if you remember. So we will be simply dragging it. So let it come. So we will be simply dragging the flow and here we are able to see. So here we will be seeing the first flow because that is the one. You can see the list if you have more flows and that's it. You have it. Now you just need to click on save. You do that. Then you make it activate this page. So yes, okay, I want to activate it. So basically assign as org default, you want to do that. So it will be displaying for all the users. For now you want to do that. So you assign that, you click on save and activation is successful. Now you go back and you are able to see it on the screen. So hello Smriti, welcome to SFDC Amplified Sessions. So that's how we are able to do it. And one more thing which I can show you here, let me refresh it. So you see here all the information are coming. Now you can click on edit, view details and versions. So what you will see here is you will see flow details, flow label name, the API name, and then you see the version. So only when you deactivate it, only then you can delete. So if I click on deactivate, then you will be seeing the option. So that's how it works. So now you have the option to delete. So now we know how it works. So now going back to the session, we have covered the case one. And in the case one, what we learned is basically screen element, like how we can add the screen element, how we can display the text, and then how we can add it on the lightning page. We also covered the case two, where I added hello Smriti, the current logged in username. And here we learned about the text element, how we can add it, and then about the flow lightning range, and also we showed the global variable. So basically it's system generated. So we had the user dot first name. That's what we did. So from here I'm giving it to Gyan. So please Gyan, take it further. I'm
Yes.
stopping the share.
Mhm. Thank you very much, Smriti. Thank you, Smriti, for showing us how to create a form and then fetch a value, a user value in the form. And then next, the case three for the flows, I'll be creating a form and I'll be displaying, but now this time it will be a through quick action. Like in one of our sessions, we have discussed about actions. Like so, actions basically quick actions, as it the name says, wherever on whichever page you are, you should be able to create action for that object. So let me show you guys how we can create a form, and a contact form I'll create so that we can have inputs first name, last name, and then account number, and we'll be creating that being on the case object, case record. So let me show you guys that demo. I'll show you practically. So launch. I think I've launched my. Let me go to setup. So I'll be creating a new flow. So I'll be creating screen flow. So first, I'll be taking a element screen because we'll be just creating a form, a contact form. So let me provide the label. And then let me grab some text elements to input our first name. Just give the label name for the input, the text. Let it be first name, and then drag one more text input, which will be the last name for the contact we will be inserting. So next thing, um, done. So just join the screen, start element with the screen, and then save it. So this will be new contact. So the API name will be auto-generated. Let me click save. And before we activate, I would like to run this and see if we get any errors. So you see here first name, last name. And then whenever before saving or activating, make sure we click on debug to check the errors. Here we have two options. If we would like to debug the latest version, what we have in the flow, as we might have different versions. And then if we are running this lightning in the classic or in the lightning runtime. So lightning runtime, that means we are in the lightning. So just click run. So here we can debug the flow. So if we get any errors, we can see here. Let me type sfdcamplified. Finish. So to the right section, you can see like the screen name, the text box, and the label, the first name, value, what happened at the runtime. Did it take that value, the one which we have provided, and the last name value as well in the next thing. And that's it. So, so we have debugged and it is good. So we can go ahead. We can say I've saved it. So just click and activate. So now this is a form, but we need to check like where we can place this form. So I would like to place this form on a case record. Go to sales. So here, let me see. Here we have a case object. So let me open one of the record, one of the case we have. So right now we don't have any flow here. Or like if I click here, we don't have any option to even create a new contact, or we don't have a flow here in the quick actions. These are quick actions for this record, for this object. So the next thing here, so we have created a form, this one we have seen, and then what we learned here in the first case. So how we create a form using a screen, just drag and drop. And then now next thing I'll be showing quick action, adding flow to the quick action for this object. So go to setup, so that on from the case of record we would be able to create directly a contact, or we would be invoking a flow. Go to object manager, go to that object which is a case. Here buttons, links and actions, new action. So we are creating a quick action for this particular object which is a case, and that is a flow. So we have one flow which is a new contact. Give it new contacts. and then save it. That's it. And then next thing you should be doing is disabling the feed items for the case object in order to see the quick action flow which we have created on the case object. So go to feed in the setup, go to feed item actions. It is feed tracking. So once we are into feed tracking, go to a case object. So please disable the feed tracking for the case object in order to see the quick action, flow quick action, what we have created on the case object. So we can go ahead, now we can refresh the page. Now if you click on this drop down arrow, let's see case here. Oh, I need to add it to the page layout, the quick action object for the case. So go here, go to your object manager, case, go to the case object. So in order to add a quick action here, we need to add it to a page layout. So go to the page layouts, case layouts, and then here in the actions, you can see new contacts. Drag and drop this here. So before that, you need to enable this new contacts. Save. Now go back to your record, refresh the page. Now you should be able to select the create contacts quick action on the case object. So if you click drop down, you can see here new contacts. If I click new contacts, you can see here first name and finish. That's it. But even though you are entering the input values in the form, but right now, no, you won't be able to see any records created. The record which we have entered. No. So you can see that. So what we have done is we have created a form through flow using a screen element. We have created a quick action, a flow quick action for a case object, and we have displayed it through a quick action. We have seen we were on the case record, and then we were able to create a contact there from there. But we know that it's not saving right now. So let's go ahead and let's work on saving that contact information which we are creating on the case record. So for that, I would like to show you this slide before going ahead. So in order to relate any two objects, it might be account or contact, we need a record ID. So similarly, in order to save the contact which I have created, so we will be using one more element in the flow builder. I go to the flow here, this one. So we'll be taking one more element here. Let me open this flow. Deactivate it in order to make some changes. And now we'll be dragging the create records element in order to create and save the record. Right now we are just able to enter the information in the form, but we are unable to save it. In order to save a record, we need a create record element from the elements tool. So here now can say save contact record. So now we are saying only one at a time, and then we'll be saving through the screen. So here object is contact, we say contact, and then the field will be first name and the last name. Now, so now we need a connection between the screen and create record. We have did some connection. So basically what we are doing here, we have a form through screen element, and then we have entered some details in the screen element. In order to save those details, we need element which is a create records. So once we have a create records, once we link the two elements screen and create records, then we would be able to see that the save record which we have created through the screen element. Now let me debug this. Let me run. You can see here it looks good. Debug before we activate this. So click run. You can see test sfdcamplified. Click finish. Now to the right you can see on the screen which says contact form. Here the first name is test, the value it took, and the second value it took sfdc amplified 2. So this is good. We don't have any errors. Now we can save this. Save as a new version for this. It will be saved. And I've saved a new version. Need to activate that. Here we have an option to activate. We don't have to go back to like in the process builder. We have to go back to our setup and then deactivate the previous version. Here we have an option to activate. Now again, if we go back to our case record, I go back to case record, and then let's create a contact now. Here in a quick action, we have a new contacts flow. So let's create a contact. And let's take test, or let's take demo. My last name. Something. So let's click save, next, and then now we have created a contact. Last time it wasn't able to save. Now this time it should be. If we go to contact, you can see here, demo, my last name. Click to that contact. There you go. So we have a new contact created. And we have created this contact record from the case record, which is very good, because let's say if we are working on a case and we would like to go ahead and create a contact during in between the working on the case, so you don't have to switch the tabs. Just click on the drop down arrow, click on create contacts, and then that's it. You are good to go. So this is done. But how about if we would like to, here you can see the account name, it's empty, and then we would like to relate this account, this contact which we have created, to the accounts. So we'll be working on that next. So the fourth case, what we have done, we were able to save the record which we have created in the case object. So the next thing what we'll be doing is the lessons learned from the previous case is like how we have saved the record, and then everyone knows saving data is must in any form. If we have any form created through screen in the flow, then it's a must to save the data, or else it doesn't make sense to create a form. So let me go ahead and show you guys. So this is one thing. So now what I'll be doing, so we were able to create a contact, but we don't see an account on the contact record. Now we will be doing, I'll be taking one of the element which is a lookup, and I'll be trying to connect the account object to a contact. So we can see that how we can do that. Let me go ahead to my flow again, new flow. Let me check if you see. So let me open the second version. So when I directly open the flow, it opens the previous version. So this is the second version, the latest version, activated the flow. So now what we'll be doing, we'll be going ahead, and just now we were able to create a contact from the case record. That was really good, time saving. But right now we want, there is an we need an option on the form in order to like a placeholder to bring the account which is linked to that contact. So now let's go to screen. Now we don't have any label here for accounts. So if we go to element tab, we can see lookup. Let's bring that lookup. So this is the field from where we'll link contact to account. So now API name and new account. Account. That's it. Next. Account ID and label. So this will be contact with account. So we'll be having a contact along with an account option. So we can select an option. Next, the object API name, where exactly we are creating the yes object where we have a quick action. And then next, here the record ID variable. So basically, you guys can see here something we have resource. So resource is nothing but it's like a container, like a placeholder. We can use resources throughout the flow. Like if we have a variables, so we can variables is also a resource in a flow. So variable, but the difference between the variables in the flow compared to other resources which we'll be creating or using is like variables, it might change during the flow, but other resources it won't change. Here I'll be creating like for account ID to store. So resources can also be used like to store the values. So here we need a record ID in order to link between the account and the contact. So now I'll be creating a new resource. So I'll take a resource type as a variable. You can check different resource type. We have a formula there. We have a text template. We have a choice. So formula is nothing but just we use like it calculates the value when formula is used in the flow. And coming to like pick list choice set, this it generates like set of choices by using the value of pick list or multi-select pick list field. And then we have record choice set. This also it's the same. It generates set of choices by using a filtered list of records. So these are few like resource types we have. So for this example, I'll be choosing a variable which is record ID. So we are creating this variable to save the account ID to link account and contact records. Now here I'll select the text because we need ID and availability outside the flow. So I'll be checking available for input option. The reason I'll be checking available for input is in flow we have input and output variables. Here we are not displaying this or giving it to any other element. So that's why it's just available for input. So next create finish. So now we have like can run and we can see. Okay. debug. Here we need to place the field in order to save that. So here we have created account ID to link it, and then here record ID. So this is the variable which will save the account ID to link it with the contact. So done. So this is just a heads up warning we get. So you can see what it says. This screen includes Lightning components that require Lightning runtime. It says if you basically this is just a warning. If we are in Salesforce Classic, then Flow might cause some issues. But whereas in Lightning, yes, this is good. So you can just ignore this for now. Activate and run. Hmm. I think I have some customizations where I'm not able to use the liquid field. Let me check. Record ID. So I should get. So let me go ahead and run this. Save. So let's go ahead on the case object. Let's try to see if you would be able to. This is a case object. Yeah, I go to into case object and let's go ahead and try to open a record in order to create a contact. If I go ahead and see here, I guess I don't have the let's see if it was name Kumar. Yeah. So I can let me go ahead and create a new flow. Or I'll just create a different. I'll select the different playground. So it will be like this, like once we enter the account name to the right section, you can see account name. The contact will be whatever the first name and last name, and in the contact with account to the left, you can see it says search accounts. There you should be able to select an account which you have in your org. So once you click next, it will be saved. And once you go to your contacts object, open this contact record on the details view, you will be able to see the account name which is related to that. So next, so here how to relate records we have seen and lookup elements as well, like how I've used a lookup element. That might be the error what I got, that might be because of some permissions on the field. And the debug feature what we have on the flow, I've shown you guys. So I'm moving forward with auto launch flow because we'll be doing the same thing in auto launch flow. We just will be creating a different flow other than screen. So I'll be showing you guys this as well now. Here. So auto launch flow is like invoking that flow from some other process. So in this session, we'll be explaining about process builder, invoking a flow. So now I'll go ahead and I'll create a flow, but this time I'll be creating a auto launch flow. So here you guys can see now in the elements in the left side section, we don't have something called screen because we don't need anything screen element is only used when we have something with a user interaction, user interface. This auto launch flow, it will be in the back end, it will be run through one of the process. So I'll be directly going ahead, and before creating records, what I'll do, I'll go to the manager tab, I'll create a new resource, that is a record ID. So this record ID will be using in the flow. So text for input. So check done. So now we have a record ID. Now go to elements, create records. The same new contact. So for now, I'm taking this option as how many records to create. It's one. Use a separate resource. So we will be using this option because we'll be taking an ID from a process builder. This will be contact object, and then first name. For now, I'm just filling some name because we are not taking this input from user. You can do that too. Last name, let's say Alba, and then we like from here now. What we can do, we can go ahead and we can create a record ID, or me save it. Let me create the process builder first, and then create the record ID. Save this. Create new contact. So this time, save it, run. Okay. So here in the now the resource which we have created, the account ID, I'll be adding that ID as well. So that's account ID to the one which we have created, record ID. This variable, this resource we are using in order to, so this means that this flow will be invoked if you provide the same record ID to the process builder. So let me click save. Then let me click debug, record ID. If I provide a record ID, it should run, and that should be good. If we don't provide, like, see, it has taken again Malba last name, and the record ID is created. This is how it is done. So now let me go ahead and create a process builder so that we would be able to invoke. We should invoke a process flow from the process builder. So new flow session. So select the process when it starts. So I'll select the record changes. So now we are creating a process builder, different tool. So here I'll be selecting account object. So we can select only when record is created. That's fine. Click save. And then criteria. For now, I'm just giving creating or invoking flow through process builder. Now I can just put like no criteria here. So for now, because I don't want to go deeper into a process builder, so click save. So this process builder will invoke whenever we create an account. So add action here. You can see flows. Give a name. Create a new contact. So here you can see the name of your flow. Need to activate this. Create. Select flows. Create a new contact. And then create one. We have it. Create a new contact. Let me try again this one. This flow, action, flows, create a new contact. There you go. Now we can see here. We have a flow. We are able to use a flow which we have just now created, and that was not a screen flow. We won't be able to select the screen flow through a process builder because that is a user interaction. And to this, now here we need a variable like the record ID which we have created. So add row, create account, record ID. So this is like the resource variable which we have created in during like creation of our flow. And next create a field reference, so we are referring this to the ID. So here it will be ID and see account ID. Yes, choose okay, and then create save, and then activate it, confirm. Now this is activated, this flow. Now if we go to flow builder, now it should create a record with the name Gyan Mal. So let's go ahead and let's try it out. If I go ahead and create an account, it should create a contact with my name. Me let me switch back to my lightning experience because we are completely working in the lightning experience. So I'll go ahead and create a new account now, and I'll see if that worked. Let me go ahead and change the application in lightning. Here I'll be creating a new account like the criteria which we have taken. So it should form new contact. So if I create an account, so do we have any mandatory fields here? No. Greetings and what? Just one. Flow session account. If I create this account, it should create a contact with my name, Gyan Malva. Yep, there you go. So this account has been created through Process Builder. But what happened? Process Builder has invoked a flow, and in the flow we have created, or already we have a record which is creating Gyan Malva. So if we go to flow, like here in our org, we have just created one account which says flow session account, and we can see the related objects or records. Under the contacts, we can see a new contact which says Gyan Malva. So this was with the auto launch flow. This we would be able to do, and it's the same with the screen flow. But in the screen flow, it's the user interaction. User needs to do needs to enter the values from the beginning. It's complete user interaction. Whereas in the auto launch flow, it can be launched from process builder, like one more flow. So let me go to my slides. So guys, this is the output, like the while creating a flow, this is the option where we can select the flow under the immediate actions in the process builder. And now guys, it's quiz and it's a chance to win goodies. And like, please do watch our training sessions and post your answers in the chat during the sessions. What we have the questions like quiz, small quiz for 30 to 40 seconds, and then 5 winners from the entire series will be given mic. Who gives the maximum right answers will they will win the exciting goodies. And then it's a quiz time. My bad. Sorry. So now it will be a quiz time. There will be a question, and you will have 20 seconds, everyone. So please be ready. Can you delete a flow when it is active? Looks like the timer it's not working, but I have a timer running for 20 seconds. So it's 5 more seconds, guys. Please answer that in the chat. Thank you. It's time up. So now coming to best practices. So we have plenty of best practices to be followed while creating a flow or while using a flow. The first one, plan out flow before you start building. The main reason for this is if you are able to do the same thing using a process builder, so we would suggest to go ahead using a process builder, and that is very easy to use compared to a flow builder. Next, coming to build flows in a test environment. Yes, in order to test, because you have a debug feature in Flow, it's like we everyone knows we first whatever we create it should be in the test environment. So please follow that. And then yes, never hard code Salesforce ID, never ever. So if you do that, then some point in future it will definitely break because users will come, go, or records might get deleted in future. So please avoid using Salesforce IDs. And then wait until the end of the flow to make changes to the database. So here it will not roll back. So please make sure you wait till the flow completes and there are changes to the database. Next, provide an error handler. This is like using a debugging tool which we have. And yes, as we have seen, like it's better to save early and often the flows And then please test as many permutations of the flows as possible. This goes with anything you build. Please test as many as permutations or views or combinations. Then avoid accessing external objects after DML operations. This is one of the best practice we suggest to follow. Please guys stay connected. We are going to play final quiz in 5 minutes. And then let's see who wins. And then let me check now what we have. So from here, my friend Smriti will take it. Thank you all.
Thank you. So can I share the screen? Can you stop sharing?
Yes.
Thank you so much. So guys, we have already talked about competition couple of times. So let's go ahead. So you can see here the Salesforce contest, and we have the names Rahul, Pavan, and the Shruti is coming out with third. So we can quickly see the leaderboard and check that who is winning. So guys, what I want to say is that though Rahul is leading, but he has done some other sessions as well. Though it was mentioned in the competition that you need to do the sessions which are there in the curriculum. So, and then Pavan was the one who posted first, and he has 16 badges. So, Pavan is might be the winner or Rahul. Let's see. So here we are coming. Chance to win the gift vouchers worth rupees 500, and the winner is it's Pavan Kumar. He is working as Salesforce developer and admin in Delight India. So you can reach out to him on Twitter and LinkedIn. So congrats, Pavan. So you just won rupees 500 worth voucher. So going ahead. So now it's the time to play the final quiz. So I hope you guys are ready. So guys, join the kahoot.in and we have this ID so that we can start. So we will wait for a couple of minutes for people to join. So right now we have two players, four. Please guys join with your right name, because even then if you are not putting right name you will not win. So we have 16 people, we are still waiting. Let's see. So we will wait for 1 more minute. And how to join is like you have to go to www.kahoot.in, kahoot.it, and then you have to put the pin code, that is 2283550, which you are seeing on the screen. So one person is just, I'm just waiting for one more person and we will just start. So yeah, now we can start. I'll just hide it. Okay, so I hope you guys are ready. Let's get started. So here comes the first question. I got 10 answers correct. So let's see. So Akshay is leading, Rohit is second, Rahul is third. Let's see. Screen, logic, actions, and integrations, guys. So 15 people have put it, and Akshay is again leading, then Rahul, then Pooja. Okay, so let's see who is winning. So button bar, 6 people played. Let's see. So we have Ravi Bandar as second, and Akshay is still leading. Krishan Kumar is third. So 14 people said it as canvas. Let's see. Okay, Akshay leading, Krishan Kumar second, Priya third. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Okay, so element tab is the answer. And let's see. So Priya is leading. That's great. So it's manager tab, guys. Let's see. So Priya leading again, Krishan Kumar coming as second, Pooja third. Okay, so 12 correct and 11 wrong. So we can see it using screen, guys. So let's see. Okay, so Krishan Kumar is winning here also, and also in the quizzes in between. So final question, guys. After launch flow, 16 people said it correctly. Let's go next. And let's see who wins. We are here. That's great. So thank you guys for playing it, and let's go further. So we have also answered all the Q&A questions in the chat. So I hope it helped. Otherwise, you can ask in group and also in the comment section later. Guys, we have created a survey for your feedback for all our sessions. That's really important to us. Sharon, please share the link there. And it's really important for us to know that how we are performing so that we can give you more great sessions. We have the question that what sessions you want in future. So please answer it. It will be really helpful for us to know where we are standing right now. So of course, stay safe and study a lot of Salesforce right now. It's the best time to study. And thank you guys for attending the session. And we will be having next session on Thursday morning IST time, 8 a.m. So guys, please stay tuned. We are coming on Thursdays and Sundays, 8 a.m. according to the India time, 8 a.m. IST. And according to the EST time zone, it's Wednesday and Saturday, 10:30 a.m. 10:30 p.m. So guys, it's 2 times in a week. So please stay tuned. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye.